This was the first part of the storm in 1979. Looking down from the hill above Broadgate onto the main road, it wasn't anything exceptional at that stage. And then just continue to look down the valley at the Holmes Wood in the distance there. This was the digger from the mine yard at Allenheads when the lead mine was working there. From Allendale they used a snowblower to try and get up, but the snow was so deep that it didn't have a lot of effect. This came all the way down from Allenheads and cleared the roads much quicker. This is the part of the road between the farm at Broadgate and that long bend just below it. And this is later when the snowblowers were used to widen the road. It was at this time when they actually opened the road below Sinderhope that they came up through the night opening the road and took the chapel windows out of Sinderhope. And for those that can remember, Matty Hubbick had lived at Burnfoot at Sinderhope. He was watching Starsky and Hutch when all the windows blew out and the snow came into the living room. He wasn't very impressed, if I remember rightly. What causes the depth of snow here is that hedge on the top side of the road at Broadgate. The snow piles behind it in the field, and then once it's level it starts coming over onto the road. And this is later, this is the second part of the storm when you had a 3-day blizzard, and this is looking out from the yard of Broadgate to the house to where the road should be. And this is looking down from the top of the drift. This is exactly where the road is, and that's the road up towards Allenheads from Broadgate. And this is looking, that's the car that was parked there, the garage. And that's the same scene where you saw the bulldozer opening out before, but it's got filled in again. See, that's the road down past Broadgate, looking down towards the bend. That's my mother looking out the house. And that's where the hawthorn hedge should be, but it's all buried underneath the snow. And just behind Pat there, there was a horse box parked, but you can't see it, it was totally buried in the snow. To get out of that yard you had to climb up a ladder. I had the extended ladders to climb up. My mother didn't venture that far out. That's the garden of Broadgate and the stables on the top side. There were actually horses in there. They were in there for about 5 days before I managed to dig them out and get them out. They didn't take any harm. That's from the garden in Broadgate looking up onto the road. And this is after the road's open. That's Valerie Martin and her husband John walking up. This is where Pat was standing before, this when after the snowblow's been through. This will be the post, the first post coming through. I think that might be Lawrence Smith, and this is how we got into Broadgate after a while. We put a tunnel in from the yard towards the road. And this is a sleigh we used to have when Captain Garner ran Allenheads in, and my sister Margaret ran the Pony Trekking Centre. They got together and bought a sleigh, and when Margaret couldn't go trekking because of the weather conditions, she did sleigh rides from the pub at Allenheads. This is a trial run at Broadgate just to see if it would work. And this is where the money was made, above the pub, between the pub and the church. It's back to the snowstorm again. You're looking up, and this is going back onto the road. It's my daughter Lisa when she was only a few months old. Snow was settling down by then, just that the weight of the snow made it compact, and it would lose 3 or 4 feet in depth. And that's the footpath that goes up from Broadgate up through the fields. And that's my son Kevin. And that's me winding my way back up the hill to our cottage, because the back road was still blocked then. I used to do that journey when the blizzard was on. The blizzard lasted for 3 days and it's just a total whiteout. and you were going totally blind, and I never made it in one go straight back to the cottage. You just had to guess where you were, and each time you got lost on the way back and just had to keep going till you found a wall or something and follow that back up to where the cottage is. As you can see, the problem was there were very few passing places, so people were forever reversing backwards and forwards until they met a passing place to let a car past. And this is digging the snow off the garage. The snow blower had sort of thrown the snow onto the garage roof, so there's quite a weight on, so a bit worried in case the garage collapsed. And then it blocked again. We had another storm, and that was the bus to Allenheads that Willie Wright used to drive, and I think it was late. It was the last bus at night, about 10:30. It could never get past that deep bit where the hedge was, so the few passengers that were on, they stayed about 2 or 3 days at Broadgate. And this has opened the road out again just a few weeks later. It was very bright, so it didn't come out very well, but again, that's the digger from Allenheads mine yard pushing the snow ahead of it. And then that's back to where we were again. The snow blowers had to come and start all over again and widen the roads out. So that's where the hedge should be, on the right hand side. Problem with an automatic camera in those days was there was so much brightness and so much white from the snow that it had a job capturing it on film. You just see the bus. It was stuck there for a few days. We actually got a phone call at 9:30 one night to ask if I'd go and check the engine, because they'd changed the engine and done some work on it, and they couldn't remember whether they put antifreeze in and could we start the engine up, but we went down but didn't have any luck, but it survived anyway. It was a favourite spot for buses getting stuck, because in 1963 there was another bus stuck at virtually the same place, just slightly higher up. And this is Sinderhope. That's actually where the road comes down to the indoor arena now. And that was just a mountain of snow there as well.